sometimes I wish that there was a way for me to have a record of all of my trains of thought, all the things that I'm imagining, all the things that I try and scheme on, because like there's just so much that I'm always like thinking about. And the reality is most of it stays in my head. And you know, obviously I want to make things out of a lot of these thoughts, try and put them towards something actual. But, you know, part of me also wonders how much time will I have to get around to everything. The answer is probably like most of it I won't, you know. So like I've been kind of thinking of this idea where like maybe I'd start recording just chunks of my thoughts and putting them out there, I guess. Some will probably be better quality than others. I don't know if I'll even remember to stick to it, but I'm gonna try to. The idea is maybe even I try and do it once a day. I guess, you know, over time you'll figure out if I actually end up committing to that or not. Well, you know, maybe I give it a try, see how long of a streak I can do where I keep going. And the likely thing of me being able to do it is probably meaning that I'd have to squeeze it in moments where I'm like driving or something, because, you know, so much of, you know, living life in capitalism is I am at work a lot and I don't have much regular just me time a lot. So I don't know. We'll have to see what I figure out for it. I might have to strategize that a bit. But yeah, I'm also trying to figure out, you know, the structure, I guess, of picking a topic so things aren't just an incoherent ramble too. So I think that will require a combination of deciding what I want to talk about, and B, kind of having the discipline to not overly ramble and cross over into too many other things, and trust that on another day I will get to it. And maybe I'll like rewatch videos that I make and go, what did I want to talk about? And then I'll think, and I'll go, here's maybe what I'd like to talk about next. Like I touched on something that involved another idea, like I just mentioned, you know, work itself and capitalism. That's something I would talk about. This guy just got in my lane. Yeah, there's a lot of things. We could talk about my life, my journey of how I've become the person I've become, and where I'm at now, and what my current line of thinking is of how the world works. That's changed a lot over the years. I could talk about scientific endeavors that I have put a lot of thought into. The ideas I have of how we could change things, how we could make things better, maybe. Things that I'm just passionate about that I've also worked on that maybe don't necessarily like change the world in some crazy way, but are like cool ideas, I think. I could talk about psychedelics and stuff like that too. I mean, and a lot of these things can have overlap, so like obviously I'm gonna have to kind of touch on some categories, but I'm gonna try and limit how much I'm gonna overly extend on one thing. I want to try and at least focus on one subject, where I guess, you know, from how I started this one, I guess the subject is the meta concept of these videos, right? Like the subject is that I'm going to be doing these videos and what these videos might be about. So I can kind of, I guess the rule is I'm able to touch on stuff that I want to talk about, but I can't stray too far into fully actually delving into that subject. I can just kind of like mention it, and maybe whatever necessary details are necessary. But yeah, it would be interesting to see if I could do this like one a day thing. And I don't know, maybe I'll get something out of it if I also limit myself to, because that's another topic I think about too, is like benefits out of like doing things that are intentionally hard or limit me in some way, as a way to kind of grow my mental ability to, disciplined on something that I want to do, because I have ADHD, so discipline can be kind of a hard thing for me whenever it comes to regular consistency. That's also its own topic, ADHD, and talking about psychology and mental fields and stuff, sociology, psychology, all those are things. Physics, quantum physics, existentialism, philosophy, war, politics, strategy. There's a lot of things I think about. I think all the time, and I've also like had increasing like things where I'm just like, man, you're thinking so much. Where's the output of all this thinking? So I guess maybe this is one way where I'm trying to start making at least some kind of output, if nothing else, you know. I still haven't also decided if these are going to be posted in a public place or like an unlisted place, with maybe a plan that maybe someday it goes public whenever I'm more comfortable with my socioeconomic status as a human being, because I could see there being some problems arising from me talking too openly about some things, especially considering, like, you know, drug usage, politics, you know, also maybe things that like I'd probably talk about, but like, you know, obviously are like kind of, you know, more touchy and personal, like, you know, sexual things or romances or like, you know, things like that. I guess this is like, I guess the start of opening a window into my brain, of pulling out some of the very internalized world that I've honestly been kind of living in a lot. Trying to bring some of that into the external world, and maybe some of it will also just be kind of sharing like things that I'm planning on doing in my life soon. Like right now, what I'm doing right now is I am driving home from visiting Savannah for a job interview that I just did there, and also to, like, you know, see if I'd want to move there. I think it went well. I guess if I continue doing this, you will know in that video that comes out, A, how long it took me to know if I got it or not, and B, if I got it or not. And that might, you know, be a drastic course change in my life. And that's actually something to also talk about in another video, I guess, is all the drama stuff that's going on in my life too. Not just the, yeah, I guess that also kind of goes on. But yeah, there's been some drama in my life recently too. And yeah, I don't know, I'll just try and touch on that, I guess. I also have to figure out if I want to limit myself on time-wise of one subject. Maybe I cap myself at no longer than 15 minutes at a time. So, you know, if I have to go over 15 minutes, then I guess I'll have to just be, I'll have to use my discipline and put it to a stop. Like, obviously I'm not gonna like have to like delete the end of it if I go over by a little bit, but I'm gonna try and stick to maybe around 15 minutes at the max. So I'll start maybe kind of trying to figure out what I want to say in that time. Maybe I'll try and keep it closer to 10 actually. I feel like, yeah. So I don't know. I think also if I structure it this way, where I have a limited amount of time, that'll encourage me to kind of structuralize the things I want to say and not ramble too much, because I have only so much time that I can do in the one video. And with that, I have to, if I don't do it, that leaves like a satisfaction gap for what I have to do the next time. And that'll make me also get a little bit better with my communication skills too, I think. Because I'll be able to summarize things and ramble less. Because I can tend to ramble. The sunset is also looking beautiful on this drive. Like, look at that. Hopefully the camera like picks that up. I don't know if it will, but it's beautiful out. And I'm also literally just like resting my phone like on my steering wheel here. Also, I guess if you're worried about distracted driving, I guess that's another thing. I have a very high tolerance for multiple stimuli. So yeah, I'm kind of like looking through the phone, like at the road behind it. I'm not just like, you know, staring at my phone, looking at my image this whole time. But yeah, I've hit 10 minutes, so I guess I'll try and do that. I guess that's also a problem too. Dropping my phone and freaking out. I guess I'll also, you know, be allowed to like change rules, I guess, as I go on, maybe as I learn what feels more suitable for me. But maybe I'll try and at least stick with the 10-minute idea for a little bit. I'm already over, so I'm already bad at sticking to it. But, you know, it'll be a journey to see how good I am at sticking by rules, how often I feel I need to change those rules to cope with not being good at following them, and how I need to rationalize why I can break the rules that I just set for myself. But, yeah, I guess this is where I should wrap it up. So